Since the 1950s and 1960s, Australians have believed in owning property as the Australian dream. In the 21st century, creating real wealth and financial prosperity through property investment is the future. Welcome to the Great Australian Dream. Hello, my name's Greg Paul from Wealth for Life. Welcome back to the Australian Dream. This is a show where we talk to experts in all areas of real estate and property investment to help you achieve the Australian dream of financial freedom. So today we're talking to the Senior Property Investment Advisor, Russell Zayedi from Wealth for Life, and we're talking to him about his views of what's happening in the market and what you should be doing right now. Welcome to the show, Russell.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of talk in the market at the moment. There's a lot of fear mongering. The market's going to collapse. The whole world's going into the apocalypse of fire. What do you think people should do right now?
Well, interesting question, Greg. Very, very interesting. Because honestly, I have seen this thing maybe fourth or fifth time. This is my fifth time, most likely. I'm hearing this. So this is not a new thing, right? People always talk about market. They talk about property market is going to crash. A lot of bad things will happen. Market has already gone down by 10%, 20%. But what's the truth behind it? What exactly happening? Let me tell you this. Between 1995 and 2018, Melbourne market grew by 335%. Okay, so I'm just going back to the history, and then maybe I'll try to find the answer for you, what you asked me. So we had, of course, we had GFC. Between 2007, 2008, I heard that thing that, the market will never recover, and people stop buying. And then 2009, all of a sudden, market started going up, and here we are, right? So Melbourne median price is now $830,000. And back in 2007, 2008, the median price was just half.
Yep.
Right? So it almost got doubled in last 10 years. So you have to determine how a market grows. What are the factors behind it?
Yep.
Or even it doesn't grow, what are the factors behind it? Okay, so if you know those growth factors or the reason market will absolutely wouldn't recover or will go down like this forever, you have to find out the factors. Okay, so the key factors behind growth of any big cities, not only Melbourne. So every city, every country got its push effect and pull effect. What is push effect? You introduced me in the previous episode that I'm from Bangladesh, right? I grew up in Bangladesh. I spent my childhood in Bangladesh. Then my parents sent me to Canada to study there, right? So I got pushed to a Western world from an Asian country when I was very, very young. What are the factors behind it? I got pushed because we got a lot of political problems in the country. Parents thought, well, my son is here. If he's here, he might not do very well. And we got a massive population. It's like, wow, to get a job over here is very, very competitive. Let's send my son somewhere else to get better education, to have a better lifestyle. And I was in Toronto, right? So that's the push effect of one country. And I went to Canada. Canada got pull effect. I got pulled by Canada because you can get better education, better jobs there, living standard is a lot higher, right? Then now I'm in Melbourne. Wow. This is one of the best city of the world, right? Many, many years in a row. We get millions of tourists each year. They're coming here. We've been listed as #1 city. Sometime we become #2, and then maybe next year we are back to #1 again. Right? So we got that pull effect in this country. 130,000 people are moving into Victoria, Melbourne, each year. Okay, so a lot of skilled people, they're coming here. A lot of students coming here. I know a lot of tourists. I have a few friends, they came as tourists, and they love this country so much that they don't want to leave. It's like, wow, I'll get a job, I'll try to get a permanent residency somehow, and I'm gonna live here. It's an amazing country, beautiful weather, beautiful people, you know, and we don't have a big population, so we got a lot of resources. And people are doing very, very well who got a plan, who come with a plan, right? They're doing very well. So this country got a pull effect. So any economy that grows, any market that grows, including property market, is determined by those migrants, those people they're moving in. So we got internal migration and external migration.
Cool.
Okay? And when these people are coming in here, where are they going to live? You have to provide them accommodation, you have to provide them housing. Therefore, market is growing. Let me tell you, the auction clearance rate right up to the election, it went up by almost 20%.
Wow, that's a huge jump.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there were few factors because banks' borrowing criteria was a bit tighter, and a lot of people, they're spectators. They're just waiting for the election to be finished, and then we'll see, whichever government is gonna take over. They might, make some changes in investment policies and in taxation and so forth. But nothing happened. Therefore, the market grew right after election. The auction clearance rate went up. That shows the market was not only recovered. People started looking for properties, even investors. I see clients every day. And people who are investors, they know this is the time to buy. Okay, so you have to keep it in mind, a great property or great asset, not only you, another 20 people looking at the same thing to buy.
Cool.
Okay, so market has recovered, and so if you look at the history, we had GFC, we had World War I, we had World War II. People bought, a lot of my clients, they're now 65, 70 years old. Many of them say, wow, Russell, I bought my first property for $75,000, $90,000, right? It sounds like a fairy tale because those properties are now worth $1 million, $1.5 million. Right? So if you just follow the history, then you will get the answer.
$300,000 in 14 months. $200,000 passive income for the rest of your life when you stop working. $200,000 in capital growth over a 2-year period. These are some of the results that our clients have achieved over the last 12 months. We're going to be running some special events in a town, in a city near you over the coming weeks called An Evening with Wealth for Life. Get in the market right now and take advantage of the ride that's about to take place. Go onto our website or call us on 1300 793877 and make a time to book in and come to one of these events.
All right, so I get from what you're saying then is the market's probably at or near the bottom at the moment and about to recover.
No, that's
No?
not entirely right.
Okay.
So you have to look at market in a very different way.
Yep.
Right? So what people see, and as an investment advisor, the way I look at market is very different.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. A lot of eastern suburbs in Melbourne, right? So you know the median price over there, over $1 million,
Yep.
right? So some of them even you can't even get a house less than 2.5 to $3 million, right?
Yep.
So now, as a first home buyer or as an investor, would you buy a property that worth $3 million and you rent it out to somebody else to live in it? Most likely not.
Probably not.
As a first home buyer, most likely you don't have that much cash or that much borrowing capacity so that you can buy a property of $2.5 million and live there. Most likely not. So that market, those particular areas, those suburbs where median price is over $1 million, not getting that much capital growth.
Okay.
But other areas where there are ample of amenities, good transport system, you know, you have train stations, you got bus, you got schools, you got hospitals. Those areas even last 1 year. Few names I can give you, you'll be surprised. Some part of northern corridor of Melbourne, when everybody's saying market is bad, still those areas grew by 19.6%, almost 20%.
Okay.
Some part of southeastern suburbs, for example, Cranbourne, Clyde North, it was still getting 15 to 18% growth when everybody's talking about market crash. So why some areas getting 15% growth even when everybody's talking about market crash and, you know, market is down? It's not true. So it's always any area, any particular area you look at, right? So it grows because of its price, what people can afford, whether people can buy in those particular areas. So how many people are looking to buy in that area, considering their borrowing capacity. That's number one factor, because a lot of people there, they want to live in a particular pocket of the city or Melbourne, but they cannot borrow that much money to buy. So many of them, they're waiting, but then at one point they understand, well, even if I wait for 6 months, I won't be able to buy in that area anyway. So they have to go and buy somewhere where they can afford, right? So those areas are always growing. So whether it's investors, first home buyers, or somebody want to downgrade, they have to go and live somewhere else where they can afford.
Number one, you want to know how to pay off the mortgage on your home in the fastest possible way. How about understanding and learning how you can become debt-free forever? Imagine paying less tax and having more money going to your pay packet every fortnight. What about securing your financial future in your retirement so you never have to worry and stress about money ever again? These are the things that we go through with you in a one-on-one consultation. Some of the results that we've achieved for our clients by sitting down with us one-on-one, we had one couple who created $300,000 in 14 months. We had another gentleman who's gone on to amass a fortune in real estate that's going to pay him $200,000 per annum for the rest of his life when he stops working. These are just some of the things that come out by sitting down with our advisors in a one-on-one consultation. Get your goal planning and you get your financial planning and your goal setting right in 2019. Take advantage of the tremendous opportunities that exist in the Australian property market right now. Call 1300 793 877 or visit wealthforlife.com.au and book an appointment in with one of our investment advisors to get your money right in 2019.
So I suppose, tell me if I'm right or wrong, just from your summary there.
Sure.
You're suggesting that if you know where to buy, it's a good time to buy. And I suppose that would come back to an earlier conversation you and I had, where you would get educated and get the right experts to work with you so that you're bought in the right area. Is that correct?
100%, yes, I agree with you. Right. So this is what it is. What is the best time to buy? When is the best time to buy, right?
Yep.
The answer is very simple. When you have a job, when you're working, money is coming to your account. Okay, number one. And number two, when bank giving you money, right? So you're not going to use your, cash, let's say. You're not going to buy a house for $500,000 using $500,000 cash, right? So most likely you're going to put 20% of your purchase price and the rest of the money you're getting from the bank. So when banks are ready to give you money, and when you have a job, that's the right time to buy.
Cool.
Okay? So if you wait for 6 months, 1 year, it doesn't make any difference. Because as I told you at the beginning, it's a good location, good property. Another 20 people and the 50 people, they're looking to buy the same thing.
Yep.
Right? So best time to buy when other people cannot afford, but you know that you're ready because bank's giving you money, you got a job. You go and do it. That's the best time. And when it comes down to location, when it's an investment, of course, we look at a lot of factors. So we go through government master plan, we go through the current amenities, we go through even how many people literally moving into that particular area each week or monthly basis. So we look at a lot of factors before we source any particular project or property for our clients. Okay, that's where you make money. You have to keep it in mind. Where are you going to open up your coffee shop, right? This is a very simple example. You want to set up a coffee shop, let's say as a business. Mm-hmm. You need foot traffic.
Yep.
Great location, but so you're not going to open up a coffee shop next to your house, right? If you live in a nice suburb, you're not going to go and open up a coffee shop, in the same street.
Yeah.
So you're going to, of course, pick up a location where there is foot traffic, where there is demand for coffee, and people, they're maybe shopping or going to movies, whatever it is, right? Or go to work. It's like, wow, this is the location. I know people are going to come and get a coffee. That's where you open your business. And investment is exactly the same. You need to have a proper plan, and you have to find out exactly what your outcome is before you get into that particular business. Cool. Consider investment as I even don't like the term when you say property, right? It's my business,
yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So that's what it is.
Cool. All right. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show again, Russell.
Thank you, Greg.
So, thank you, Russell, for coming on. So basically, as Russell said, the best time to buy is now, but make sure you do with the right level of education, and make sure you do with the experts in your corner, because he briefly mentioned that there are some areas that you could buy that aren't going to grow a lot, and there's some areas that you could buy that could get fantastic results right now, and you need to know where they are. And having the experts in your corner is going to help you do that. So until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.